Hello, everyone, and welcome to Through the Covers. I'm Fred, and I'm really excited to finally get this podcast started. If you're someone who loves cricket conversations beyond just match highlights, then this podcast is for you. Through the Covers is where we dive deeper into the game, the latest cricketing news, player statistics, match analysis, team strategies, and of course some predictions about where the game might be heading. Cricket today is evolving faster than ever. Teams are experimenting with new approaches, players are redefining roles, and data-driven decisions are becoming more important with every tournament. Through this podcast, the goal is to understand the game from that perspective, not just what happens on the field, but why it happens. Welcome back, everyone, to Through the Covers. I'm Fred, and this episode really has everything. Big scores, bold statements, and a few warning signs that teams simply can't ignore as we move deeper into the tournament. Let's start in New Chandigarh, where Punjab Kings chased down 220 like it was a routine exercise, and honestly, that's becoming their identity now. They've mastered the art of chasing under pressure. But there's a flip side to this story that we cannot ignore. Yes, Shreyas Iyer led from the front with composure and authority. And what really stands out is how fearlessly the top order is playing. Priyansh Arya and Prabh Simran Singh are not just attacking, they're dictating terms in the power play, setting up these chases perfectly and allowing the middle order to play with clarity instead of panic. But here's the concern. Punjab are consistently conceding 200-plus totals. And while chasing might win you games early in the tournament, defending totals in crunch situations, especially on slightly slower pitches later on, becomes a completely different challenge. Their bowling lacks control at the death, and more importantly, lacks variation. And that's something opponents will start targeting more strategically. On the other side, Sunrisers Hyderabad are quickly becoming one of the most frustrating teams to watch this season because their batting is doing more than enough. Putting up 219 should win you games, but their bowling is simply letting them down. There's a clear lack of execution in both phases, whether it's power play discipline or death overs planning, and right now, their attack looks predictable. And in T20 cricket, predictability is punished brutally. If SRH don't fix this soon, their campaign could slip away despite having one of the most explosive batting lineups. Now shifting to Chennai, and finally we've seen the kind of performance fans were waiting for. Chennai Super Kings announcing themselves in style against Delhi Capitals. This wasn't just a win, this was a statement comeback. The foundation, of course, came from Sanju Samson's incredible century. That innings completely set the tone for what was essentially a batting paradise. A proper highway where bowlers had very little margin for error. But what impressed me most about CSK was not just the total they put up, but how they constructed it. Contributions throughout the lineup, no over-reliance on one player, and a clear plan in terms of tempo management. Yes, Ruturaj Gaikwad's struggles continue, and in conditions like these, that's definitely a concern moving forward, but when the rest of the unit steps up, it softens that blow, and then comes the standout performance of the game. Jamie Overton, 4 wickets on a surface where most bowlers were disappearing, and not just wickets, but control, discipline, and smart usage of variations. That spell changed the game. It's also worth noting how sharp CSK were in the field. Energy, intent, awareness, all the little things that define a well-drilled side were on display. The captaincy was proactive, the plans were clear, and this felt like a complete team performance. Delhi, meanwhile, are showing a very familiar pattern. They start with promise, they build momentum, but then somewhere along the way, they lose control. There's a lack of consistency in execution, and unless that changes, they'll keep hovering without really threatening the top teams. Now looking ahead to Sunday's doubleheader, and these are two fascinating contests tactically. First up, Lucknow Super Giants, taking on Gujarat Titans in Lucknow. Now this ground is typically slower compared to others. It grips a bit, especially as the game progresses, so batting first becomes slightly more advantageous. I'd say a par score here is around 165 to 180, anything above that gives you real control. Gujarat's strength lies in their structured bowling attack and their ability to adapt to conditions, while Lucknow rely heavily on their middle order stability and finishing power. Key matchup here is how LSG handle GT's spinners in the middle overs. If they get stuck, the game tilts quickly. Personally, I see Gujarat having a slight edge here purely because of how well balanced they are in these conditions. And then the big one, Mumbai Indians versus Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Wankhede. And this is a completely different game altogether. Flat pitch, short boundaries, dew likely. This is chasing territory. Batting second is a clear advantage here, and we could easily see another 200-plus game. Par score batting first? Around 200 to 210. Anything less and you're under pressure. The key here will be power play matchups. If Mumbai's top order gets going early, they're incredibly hard to stop. But RCB's strength lies in their ability to counterattack through the middle overs. Death bowling will decide this game, and honestly, both teams have shown vulnerability in that phase, so expect a high-scoring thriller. Slight edge to Mumbai purely because of familiarity with conditions, but this one could go either way. That's it for today's episode. Two games that highlight both the strengths and the cracks in teams, and a Sunday lineup that promises even more drama. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to Through the Covers and follow us on Instagram for more match analysis, insights, and episodes coming your way. Until next time, this is Fred, signing off.